All right, good afternoon, YouTube. This is a quick video. This is dedication to Jason over at Less Stuff, More Freedom. He was having a real hard time removing a Coleman 502 burner. And I gotta tell you, I've taken off dozens and have never had a problem. And two now in the last month, I just had a bear of a time. Well, just so that you know, what I'm talking about is not the rings here, but this cup down here in the bottom. Okay, and what happens is you can see this throat right here that goes up to your generator that goes across there. This is threaded, okay? And this burner plate, this goes down on here. Now that thing, when it gets rusty in there, it is a bear. This guy right here, right? And you can't get off your tray because this comes up underneath the bottom like this. All right, so that's what that looks like. Okay, comes up to the bottom. So I'm going to give you some tips. This is not going to be a perfect scenario, but I'm going to tell you what it is that you need without fail. Okay, I'm going to flip. First, you're going to need a torch, a blue wrench. Okay. And you're going to need a big set of pump pliers, right? Big enough to pinch down on that cup. Okay? I think these are Craftsman. Gosh, these open up 4 inches. All right? So now, get yourself some liquid wrench. If you're going to do this the night before, make a puddle of liquid wrench in there, okay? But I'm going to give you some tips. If you don't have a vise, you might get lucky and it might spin right off in your hands. But if you start to really struggle with this, I don't think you're going to get it off without a vise, okay? Now, here's the tip. Take your torch and don't heat up right here in the center. Heat up out here around the outside so this gets hot and swells up. You don't necessarily want the thread of your throat here to get hot because it'll expand with it, right? So you want to heat up this outside, okay? And try not to apply any direct heat to the center, okay? This really helps. A heavy but blunt, smooth punch, okay? When you get the liquid wrench or whatever you want to curl or whatever you want to use, tap this really good. Tap this. Tap, 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 tap. Tap up here. Tap down here. Try a little more heat. I'd let it cool on its own. Try more heat. I'd do it 2 or 3 times. Maybe try to grab it with the pump pliers. See if you got any. If you get it to move at all, stop and put more liquid wrench in there. In fact, if you get it to move a little bit this way, move it back and then put the liquid wrench and then just rock it back and forth and then put the liquid wrench in there, rock it back and forth and just let it sit. Be patient. You'll get it, but use this tapping method. Use the liquid wrench. Use heat. Get yourself a big pair of pump pliers and apply your heat around the perimeter. I mean, this particular one right here, I've been working on for an hour and I just now got it, and it was from heating, letting it cool, heating, letting it cool. So anyway, I thought that would be helpful to somebody. If somebody has any other questions, give me a call. But boy, just the last couple that I've done, I got out of an old barn, and that rust really sunk in there. And it can get you a real problem. So also, if anybody else has any tips, hit them my way. All right, thank you, and I hope that helps somebody. All right, so that little lesson, you gotta be able to get that off to get everything cleaned up in order to get to everything to do a rebuild so your stove will look like this. So anyway, if you got any other questions, got any other tips to add, hit me up, because I'd love to have a place where people can go and get some tips if they end up having trouble with that. Have a good one. Till next time.